Winter in our town has already come. While many of us watching this are in the comfort of our own homes with the ability to stay warm, our unsheltered neighbors are threatened with exposure to these below freezing temperatures. The precipitation mixed with the cold is a recipe for disaster. Folks living outside run the risk of frostbite, hypothermia, and other life-threatening illnesses that are a direct result of their lack of shelter in this extreme weather. Combine this with an additional looming threat of a global pandemic, and this vulnerable population is at an even greater risk than ever before. Emergency shelters are an option, and many folks do utilize these local resources. They can be a safe haven for some. However, there are many reasons that some folks will not utilize shelter living. There can be barriers when trying to access this resource. Some people will not qualify for various reasons. Some people have had traumatic experiences. Some people have a past that prevents them from being able to enter a shelter. Some people don't want to be separated from their partners, and there are no options currently in the area for couples without children to stay together. And due to the pandemic, shelters must have lowered capacities in order to adhere to the guidelines to keep these vulnerable populations safe. So, when a shelter is at capacity, what other options are there? The eviction moratorium is gone, and more people are facing the reality of homelessness. The pandemic cost so many their jobs and their stability. Evictions are beginning, and there will be so many more people without shelter before the winter is over. The reality is that our community is in need of dire help, and there aren't enough resources out there for people who are facing homelessness. Our community has come together more than ever before to provide care and assistance for our fellow neighbors. With community engagement, we are realizing how much community mutual aid matters for so many people, including ourselves. Spending just a small amount of time out of each day to assist a neighbor, a friend, or a family member has shown just how strong we are as a community and how capable we are of caring for one another. The Living Room Project is a project of compassion and uplifting support for some of our unhoused community members. Operating into its 5th winter, Living Room provides housing and support to assist people in finding not only housing, but other resources necessary to sustainable living solutions. The Living Room Project is looking for volunteers to assist our neighbors without shelter. The Living Room Project operates on a philosophy that with the right support and a stable environment, people can succeed in manifesting their own sustainable living situation that works for them. The philosophy is that the program works best with a team of 4. The living room guest, and 3 additional support people. These roles depend on each team's strengths, scope, and capacity. A larger team means more time can be dedicated to the individual. During a time that a guest is involved with the Living Room Project, they are provided with a restful space to stay so that they may feel comfortable enough to shift their focus away from the tyranny of the moment to get themselves into a more sustainable and permanent living situation. Our goal is to support them in helping them get the resources they need to empower them to create their own successes. The more support we can get as an organization, the more community members we can support to bridge the gap that so many people are falling into this year. Maybe you're thinking, great, what an awesome project, I would love to get involved. There are so many ways you can support this project. Our 2 greatest needs are community involvement and financial support. If you have time to spare, you can support your neighbors in finding solutions to get them housed, with support from our staff and experienced volunteers. If you have everything but time, consider donating money to the Reno Initiative for Shelter and Equality so that we can temporarily house even more individuals in need of support. Our community is going strong, but let's work together to make it even stronger and support each other in success.